Honestly, I think this is my favorite in the franchise. Friday the 13th was released in 2009, directed by Marcus Nispel and starring Jared Padalecki and Amanda Rigetti. And I think this is a badass horror remake. And after 15 years of no Jason content, I think it's about time to start admitting that this movie was unjustly hated when it was first released. So let's go ahead and start this review off with the good. And yeah, I don't get the hate for this movie. First of all, you got Jared Padalecki in this movie, and I thought that he was a really good protagonist. He's not great by any means. He's no Tommy Jarvis, but I thought that he was a really good protagonist for this film, and I really like the journey that his character goes on trying to find his sister. And while we're on the subject of his sister, you got Amanda Rigetti in this movie, and I thought that she was a badass final girl. She doesn't do much for a majority of the runtime. She's kind of just locked away in Jason's basement for most of it, but when she actually starts to do stuff in the third act, she's a really great character, and I really liked her. I kind of wish we got sequels, but that fucking legal battle, it's a little too late now, unfortunately, I feel like. But I really liked her in this movie, and I really liked her scenes with Jared Padalecki. They really feel like brother and sister in here. And finally, you have Jason Voorhees in this movie, this time played by Derek Mears. And I personally think that Derek Mears is the best Jason we have ever gotten. All respects to Kane Hodder, CJ Graham, and everybody else who has ever played Jason. I think Derek Mears just nailed Jason better than anybody else ever has. Others have come close, but Derek Mears is easily the most badass Jason. I mean, he's not just your typical slow, silent killer. He sets traps. He runs after you. He's absolutely brutal in his takedowns. I love this version of Jason, and I really wish we could have gotten more from him, but again, it's probably a little too late to do follow-ups to this movie. I still want to see Derek Mears show up as Jason somewhere. I don't care where. Just give me Derek Mears as Jason. And on the subject of Jason, the kills in this movie are amazing. Absolutely brutal, disgusting, bloody kills. Almost on par with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake for brutality in remake kills. And honestly, I just think that the story here is really great. It's Jared Padalecki trying to find his sister, played by Amanda Rigetti, who's been kidnapped by Jason because Jason thinks she's his mother. I just think it's a really interesting story, and the way that all these other characters interweave into the story and how they're all dispatched, and even some characters you think might make it to the end, they don't, and I just think it was all executed great. I don't, like I said, I don't get the hatred for this movie. I just think it's a really, really great entry into this franchise. And the atmosphere is amazing here. And the score elevates that atmosphere. And this is the first movie in the franchise, yeah, I know, 12 movies in, that actually makes Crystal Lake feel like an ominous setting, in my opinion. All the other movies, the Crystal Lake setting was just kind of there. And I like the Crystal Lake setting. It's iconic. But I feel like this is the first movie that made Crystal Lake feel ominous, in my opinion. But yeah, that's about all for the good. On to the bad. And admittedly, there is some bad dialogue here. If you know what I'm talking about, you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But that's about all for the bad. On to the final thoughts. I think this is a great movie. Personally, this is probably my favorite in the franchise. But Friday the 13th, the 2009 remake, great movie, great entry into the franchise. and I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. So that was my thoughts on Friday the 13th, 2009. Have you seen this movie? Let me know down in the comments what you thought about it, if you have seen it. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.